So, what is the Underground Railroad?
The Underground Railroad is a system of safe houses and paths for runaway slaves. People like me who are trying to help slaves extend all the way through the North and up through Canada. Some of the slaves we help even end up in England.
So, who runs the Underground Railroad?
No one does. It's loosely collaborated by a bunch of us who want to help slaves find better lives and escape the people oppressing and controlling them. Most of the people who help are black, but there are a lot of us who are white abolitionists. Some of us just don't want to be controlled by the government.
When was the Underground Railroad started?
No one's really sure, but there's been references to Quaker societies helping slaves run away from George Washington himself. We've really expanded the past 20 years.
Why is it called the Underground Railroad? Is there a train or somewhere that I'm not seeing?
No, of course not. It's called the Underground Railroad because of the steam engines that were very popular during the early 1830s when it was named. All the terms are modeled after railroads, too. Conductors helped slaves leave the plantation. Businesses and houses where runaways could sleep were called stations, and they were led by station masters.
How does it all work?
At the plantation or the area where the slaves work, conductors will go in and help slaves become aware of stations that are near them and help them to escape. The fugitive slaves will obviously move at night when they have no light to expose them. When a slave leaves the station that he or she was staying at, the station master will send a letter to the next stop to alert the next station master. Runaways will travel for hundreds of miles going from station to station.
Are there any notable people who are helping out with this at all?
Well, Harriet Tubman has helped greatly with the cause. She was actually born a Maryland slave and then married a free black man. She was injured by an overseer and feared being sold. So she ran away and eventually made it here to Pennsylvania. She then returned to the South to free her brothers and multiple others. So far, she has freed over 300 slaves.
Is there any other way we could help?
People who are involved in the Underground Railroad understand how dangerous it is to be helping out slaves. Money is needed for us to continue to operate. We pay for the train tickets and the boat fare for slaves who need them. We also need to provide clean clothing for runaway slaves because it can cause an issue if a slave is walking around with a tattered shirt. Donations would be greatly appreciated.
Well, thank you for answering a lot of my questions. It was nice to come out and meet you today.
Thank you for having me.